Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Williams, good to see you again. Thank you for coming by and letting us vet this issue and your response. And I believe we have in about 6 to 8 weeks we're going to meet again on some of the things we talked about earlier. I look at this issue as a human rights issue. You know, America, we are the human rights country. We go throughout the world promoting human rights in a whole bunch of ways. And I think it is important, though, that we return and focus on the human rights of Americans that go abroad in the Peace Corps. And thank you for your service in the Peace Corps. That's a great organization. I don't want to see it disappear. I think we ought to, encourage it, make it better. I see this issue as kind of several parts. First, when a crime's committed, we have the victim. And then we have the Peace Corps response, which is what we're going to work on legislatively, I hope. But also the Peace Corps response must, I think, include two other avenues that hadn't been talked about today, and that is the Peace Corps' interaction with the country that the victim was in. And what is their response? How are they going to deal with this crime committed in their country? And then, lastly, the perpetrator. There is a criminal involved in these criminal actions. And how do we see our interaction with some foreign country going after the outlaw that committed this crime? And so those are the things that we need to work on. We don't have time to verbalize those now, but I would hope as we proceed with legislation, with your help, Rain, and all of the victims that are here, that we can figure out a way to make the country that we are trying to help, these angels are helping, be responsive to the crime that was committed in their country as well. And I just hear some short comments on you on that issue if you care to make them.
Thank you, Congressman Poe, and thank you also for the care and concern you have for the Peace Corps, your support of the Peace Corps, and I have appreciated our conversation. We'll follow up, as you say, in a few weeks to continue that. Regarding care of victim, this is going to be first and foremost in our response. We're going to make sure that it's a victim-centered approach. We're going to be compassionate. All of our medical personnel have been trained in how to work with victims of sexual assault. There's nothing more important. And it's not just going to be at the country or the post. It's going to be a continuum when they return back to the United States, either to their home of record or to here in Washington. And it's a team effort. We're all going to make sure all of our staff, our senior management is focused on this. We are committed to making this, changing the culture that these courageous people have encountered in the past. We're going to change that. Regarding the host country, the host countries around the world, as you know so well, want the Peace Corps to stay there. And so we find, in working with the country team, with the ambassador, with the regional security officer, each of the embassies, that the cooperation we get from local law enforcement has been very good. They're very interested in finding the perpetrator, the criminal who attacked a Peace Corps volunteer, no matter what the type of attack is. And we've seen a lot of good cooperation from them, working with our local safety and security coordinator in each of our countries. And that will continue to be the case, and we'll do everything we can to pursue that. But again, it's also something that the ambassador in our country, or the U.S. ambassador, also has been very, very, in just about any country you can think of where we've had issues, they have been determined and have been a willing ally in this fight, sir.
All right. I'm going to yield back the remainder of my time.
Thank you,
Madam
sir.
Chair.
Mr. Payne.